One, two, is this on?
In wrestling, not everyone can be the main event, but some middle-of-the-road characters can leave a big impression.
I never made more money, had more fun. Like, it was incredible, actually.
Yeah.
And then the crowd organically turned me babyface, which is something I never even thought was possible. People started to feel bad for me. You know, there was real sympathy.
Exceeding any expectations fans and the higher-ups may have had for them.
Well, luckily for me, it was just lightning in a bottle. Right opponent, Braun Strowman, got 15 to 20 seconds of promo time. It just all came together so well, and just that performance that night with Braun Strowman, fans got behind it after that.
For this video, we'll be looking at mid-card wrestlers who were given personas or roles that could have easily failed, but in each case, the talent knocked them out of the park.
They would tell me, the ratings are really good. Hey, the social media loves this stuff. And Hunter came in. Now Hunter took over, and the very day he took over, he was like, hey, just so you know, I'm bringing Elias back.
Today, we highlight 10 memorable WWE gimmicks people thought would flop.
I just forgot my next line. So I'm just like, shit. I just remember saying something like, you know what? I got kids.
I need this. I have kids that I have to feed.
They just took the mic from Paul and said that line.
Let's talk about your kids. I don't give a shit about your kids.
Next thing you know, it's on a t-shirt.
That was my very first ever singles t-shirt.
Anyone who saw Elias work in NXT as the Drifter knew the gimmick had potential to be a fine talent on the A shows. However, with the quality of programming on the main roster being so poor in 2017, it was hard for fans to have high expectations for anyone coming over from NXT, mainly due to Vince McMahon's track record of not booking such performers well, specifically mid-carders still finding their character, such as Elias. Behind the scenes, Triple H knew Elias' character was a shoo-in for Raw or SmackDown, but McMahon still had to be convinced it could work. Meanwhile, fans weren't too hopeful following Elias' early appearances on the main shows, where he wandered aimlessly backstage. Plus, he lost his second name of Samson and his Drifter moniker. However, in a one-to-one private meeting with McMahon, Elias made it count with a great performance, which he discussed in an interview with Inside the Ropes.
I introduced myself briefly, and I said, well, the writers said I should come in here and do my act and do that for you. He says, yeah, please. I'd love that, Vince. I'd love to do my act, but I need you to silence your cell phone. Hold your applause. And most importantly, Vince, shut your mouth. And I sang my song, and when I was done, he was like, oh, this is going to be good. He was so into it, right? Yeah, from that day on, it was kind of like, you know, off to the races with building Elias.
From there, the rest is history, as Elias impressed each week with fantastic musical performances.
Right now, I need you all to silence your cell phones, hold your applause, and shut your mouths. Who wants to walk with Elias? WWE stands for...
Following 4 years of success, it was deemed time for a refresh for Elias, but few would have predicted what would happen next. After shaving his beard, Vince now saw Elias as a completely different person, never mind a different character, and thus Elias' younger brother EZEKIEL was born, a clean-shaven, fresh-faced wrestler in trunks. The whereabouts of Elias were unknown, while Zeke was fulfilling his boyhood dream of becoming a WWE star.
I mean, it's basically a dream come true, you know. I am EZEKIEL. I'm Elias' younger brother, man, and I'm so happy to be here on Monday Night Raw.
This could have easily flopped, but it was pulled off and executed well.
And I get questions all the time, you know, it's like, hey, why don't you grow your beard out? You'll look just like your brother. And it's like, believe me, I've tried. It doesn't take. But out here, I'm here. It's like, you know, Elias walked so that Zeke could speak. Everyone is gonna want to speak with Zeke. Elias with his younger brother, EZEKIEL.
My eyes are closed.
Why don't you want to look at the photo?
That's a doctored picture.
Is your real name EZEKIEL?
Yes.
He's telling the truth.
It just made for some really great TV. In fact, and they would tell me, the ratings are really good. Hey, the social media loves this stuff. And so I think initially they wanted it to be 2-3 weeks with Kevin, and I have no idea if there was a long-term plan. Probably not.
Although his run was brief, EZEKIEL was a welcome addition on screen.
And Hunter came in. Now Hunter took over, and the very day he took over, he was like, hey, just so you know, I'm bringing Elias back.
A wrestler going on a losing streak can be hit or miss, though sometimes such a run may not actually be intentional. In the case of CURT Hawkins, he was used as an enhancement talent upon returning in 2016, as the company had no intention of pushing or using him in storylines.
I just spun it into something fun. It just became this thing, this life of its own. And like, we could be in the middle of nowhere in some live event, and like, people really cared about my match. Like, they wanted to be there to say they saw me win, you know, that final time, you know, even if they didn't know I was CURT Hawkins, whatever, they just knew, oh, it's a guy that loses all the time. Oh my God, you know, and they were invested in what I was doing. It was the best feeling, you know?
Then after a year of losing every match, Vince wanted to give Hawkins a victory in his hometown of New York, which would be against Heath Slater in a nothing match on Main Event. Kurt responded by mentioning the massive losing run he was on, and how this should be used in an angle.
I remember one time I was supposed to be Heath Slater on Main Event, and I went, oh, no. I said, no, please, no.
Yeah.
I said, what? No. I said, this could be something. I said, but there's no sense in ending it on Main Event against Slater. Like,
that's the Hawkins politicking. You politic to lose.
Which I'm like, who does that?
The higher-ups agreed, and from there, Hawkins slowly turned babyface as fans wanted to see him finally get his hand raised.
Dude, I never made more money, had more fun. Like, it was incredible, actually.
Yeah.
And then the crowd organically turned me babyface, which is something I never even thought was possible. People started to feel bad for me. You know, there was real sympathy.
Everybody's talking about me. Everybody cares if I'm going to win or lose now.
Though given that Kurt was so low on the totem pole, he wasn't regularly seen on Raw, but remained doing jobs on Main Event. That being said, WWE did a good job of continuing the story on social media, and though it was often played for laughs, the emotion was absolutely there, especially when Hawkins began to feature on the main shows again, after reuniting with his best friend Zack Ryder in early 2019. The idea being that Ryder wanted to help Kurt break his losing streak. It was no longer played for jokes, and things were now serious.
And I promise you, we're gonna end your losing streak together.
Your losing streak continues. Zach, is this really somebody you want as a tag team partner?
Hawkins.
Fans were hoping this would build to the two winning the tag titles at WrestleMania 35, close to their home state, New York. However, this didn't look like it was going to happen, which led to Hawkins pitching for a featured role in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. McMahon shot this down since Braun Strowman was planned to be the only focus of that match. The chairman was inspired what Kurt said in the meeting though, as Hawkins relayed his underdog story. This coincided with tag champs The Revival requesting to defend their belts at Mania, and so Vince ultimately booked Hawkins and Ryder to face them and get the win, thus concluding Kurt's 2.5-year losing streak.
No, Dawson! New tag team champions! The streak's over!
Which ended at 269-0, or 73-0 if you only count TV and pay-per-view.
And Mackenzie here, she hasn't even seen me win a match in her lifetime. And that's not a joke, that's the truth, so.
James Ellsworth was one of those who got multiple victories over Hawkins, albeit on the house show circuit. Initially, Ellsworth was a jobber who made a big impression due to his unique look, and thanks to the hilarious promo he cut before being squashed by Braun Strowman on Raw in 2016.
Any man with two hands has a fighting chance. I can only imagine what that may do for my career.
He's already missing a chin. He may be missing a head after this. Oh my God! Stage by Strowman through the equipment.
Ellsworth was brought back and impressed again, as Dean Ambrose helped him score numerous shock victories against AJ Styles.
What changes are you going to make in the second half of this match?
I'm going to try to use my two hands as much as possible.
Ambrose, another dirty deeds!
Jake, get him, baby! No! He got it!
James was popular with the fans and ultimately given a contract. Who would have thought a local competitor coming in for what was meant to be a one-time appearance could have such an impact?
Well, luckily for me, it was just lightning in a bottle. Right opponent, Braun Strowman, got 15, 20 seconds of promo time. It just all came together so well, and just that performance that night with Braun Strowman, fans got behind it after that, and I appreciate every fan that's ever helped me out because of that.
Ellsworth was later paired with Carmella as the company got as much as they could from his character.
Are you and Carmella in a relationship? Let's say that.
What are you talking about? Let me ask you.
He was later released only to be rehired and then fired again a short time after.
You're fired!
Jimmy Yang's first run on WWE TV saw him portray a silent Yakuza-like henchman for Tajiri, known as EZEKIEL, though there wasn't much to his character beyond that. His time as EZEKIEL is best remembered for his awesome series of matches with Paul London on Velocity in 2004 and 5. Yang was brought back in 06 after Vince saw him backstage visiting friends and told Creative to write him into the show, after forgetting he wasn't even employed anymore.
I was just trying to get laid one night, and there was a pay-per-view close by, and this girl, I was trying to get tickets and do the whole thing. This is after I got fired. Chick was really hot, you know, they're close by. Awesome tickets and everything, and when I showed up, like, me and Vince crossed paths, and he's like, Jimmy, where the hell you been? I was like, you fired me? You know, he's like, what? I did? What? And then it got busy, and so I'm gonna come back and talk to you.
From there, vignettes began to air on SmackDown, hyping up the former EZEKIEL as a redneck cowboy now going by Jimmy Wang Yang.
I'm a redneck. My name is Jimmy Wang Yang. I'm your boy. Giddy up.
This was a shock to fans who may not have realized this was closer to who he actually was in real life, compared to his last gimmick where he was supposed to be Japanese, despite being of Korean descent.
This fella just came up to me and asked me where the Japanese restaurant is. Do I look like I know where the Japanese restaurant is? Ain't no yellow about me. But there is one color about me, a little red.
Plus, Yang was born in the US and grew up in Georgia, hence his legit southern accent.
Redneck like me likes NASCAR, cold beer, and butt whooping.
Looks like a cross between JR and a geisha woman.
Despite the drastic gimmick change and silly vignettes, Wang Yang proved to be a good hand on SmackDown, where he worked good matches in the cruiserweight division. Yang likely would have had a title run if he'd returned a year earlier, but as it happened, the period he came back was dominated by back-to-back lengthy reigns from Gregory Helms and Chavo Guerrero. That being said, Jimmy gave both wrestlers a run for their money in strong matches on pay-per-view.
He's gonna go for it. He's going for that. Oh, that corkscrew moonsault. Nobody home. Jimmy Wang Yang.
Yang stuck around on SmackDown until he was released in 2010, and though he didn't necessarily feature in storylines or cut too many promos, his in-ring work and superb attitude behind the scenes kept him on the roster for a solid 4-year run.
I think people never gonna forget, Asian redneck, but that's kind of an accomplishment to me, saying, okay, y'all remember that goofy Asian redneck guy?
Umaga's character was interesting, as it seemed like something plucked from the 80s or 90s. Fans were unsure if an animalistic savage like this could work in a more modern age, but the Samoan Bulldozer proved to be a tremendous monster heel. He could really go in the ring while also being visually striking and intimidating. In 2009, Umaga evolved to speak clear and coherent English.
It will be a Samoan strap match.
This added a new, untapped dimension to the character.
So much bigger, so much stronger, and maybe the most intense individual on Friday night.
But unfortunately, a short time later, he was released and ultimately passed away before he was ever able to return, ahead of what certainly would have been a career resurgence. Nevertheless, Umaga will be remembered as a strong, memorable gimmick that exceeded expectations. Heath Slater established himself as a fun comedy performer in WWE, although fans were wondering how he would bounce back after once again being split from one of his factions in 2016. Typically, he had always done better with a group to bounce off rather than going it on his own, but after going undrafted and becoming a free agent, Slater was all alone.
I'm the last one here. Oh, look at this. Isn't this just great?
Over the next few months, he did some of the best work of his career, trying to earn a contract on Raw or SmackDown, only to fail in hilarious fashion, with Heath stating how much he needed the job because of all the kids he has.
And this Sunday, my client. Hey!
It was literally a promo, and then I literally forgot a line, and I started shooting from the hip, and I got kids came out of my mouth. I need this. I have kids that I have to feed. They rely on daddy. My 2 little girls at home and all the other kids that I have are relying on me. They just took the mic from Paul and said that line.
Let's talk about your kids. I don't give a about your kids.
To go home to my 7 kids now and tell them daddy doesn't have a job because you want to put me up on unbearable odds. You look so beautiful tonight, you know that? Thank you so much, Stephanie.
No, it's actually Rhino.
Slater eventually got signed to the Blue Brand thanks to help from Rhino, as the two became an entertaining tag team.
This one's... Hey, what's her name? This is my little girl, Brandy Lynn, baby! That single white trailer we're in, as soon as we win the tag team titles, we're gonna get a double wide, baby!
He's got kids.
That too.
Yeah, you have to.
Many kids.
How many kids do you have?
This many.
Given the fact he debuted on the main roster aged 40, Rico knew he had to seize any opportunity that came his way. Despite having only been wrestling for a few years, he was decent in the ring while also possessing charisma.
What was your interactions with Vince McMahon like?
Terrible. He doesn't like me. He didn't want me up there in the first place because I was too old.
Rico initially impressed as the stylist for Billy and Chuck, and from that came a shift to a more flamboyant, eccentric persona. Rico modeled his new erotic gimmick after Adrian Street, who he worked with to flesh out the character. Rico wasn't given too much direction by WWE and was able to tailor the act to his liking.
He's doing the donkey ride.
There's no pony ride. Hey, yippee-ki-yo, giddy up, man.
RICO has said that he got a lot of ideas from fans he would speak to after the shows, finding out what they liked and what could be added.
It was a hammerlock. It was a hold. Yeah, that was a hold, all right. What the hell?
They got it right in the commentary. RICO uses this stuff to get into your head to get off your game. Because then when it came down to me kicking somebody's butt, out came the moves. All of a sudden, I turned from all happy and not giving care to whooping the crap out of you. You see, so now, is he gay? Is he not gay? You don't know.
RICO proved to be a memorable performer who really made good on his chance by taking up a difficult role in a wrestling context and making it mean something.
I don't think Devon wants anything to do with it. What the hell's Devon? What the hell's going on? And Rico, yeah, well, I'm sure it's not the first time I've ever had this happen. I'm going to be sick.
To the face to Rico! And Rico enjoyed it!
In WCW, Perry Saturn was seen as a solid in-ring performer, reliable and consistent, always delivering between the ropes. But it wasn't until he started wearing a dress that fans got a glimpse of his personality. Originally, this was part of a storyline punishment after losing to Chris Jericho, but Saturn kept the look simply because he liked it.
Perry Saturn! Looking at? I'm not looking at anything. I'm not that kind of a guy.
In theory, this shouldn't have worked out, but Perry gave it his all and made the gimmick memorable.
Head tape from an earlier injury.
I've always said there's two things from Texas: steers and queers.
Things took an even stranger turn in WWF, where he entered a bizarre relationship with a mop he called Moppy. To set the scene, Perry had legit heat backstage after destroying jobber Mike Bell for real. Fans speculated if Saturn might get fired or punished, especially since he was already low down on the card. Then, a short time later, Perry's character dedicated his life to the mop. He treated it like a living being, fiercely protective and completely devoted.
Who came up with it? Who approaches you with that at the time?
I think Vince. I think it was Vince. And when Vince has an idea, you're doing the idea.
What was worse, having to wear a dress in WCW or Moppy in WWE?
Moppy. The dress was my idea. The Moppy wasn't.
Prior to the mop romance, Saturn had already fully embraced the madness. He went crazy, speaking in bizarre, nonsensical phrases that somehow matched the surreal charm of his unhinged persona.
British people fight dragons so they don't get all fiery. Monkeys learn sign language so they can tell dolphins they love them. Doggies eat applesauce to save the ozone layer.
Excuse me, sir, you can leave back here.
New York is on the East Coast because canaries are yellow. You're welcome.
Get the muffins! Get the muffins! You're welcome!
He was so all in on the character, Perry really stuck it to those who thought he was being set up to fail. Tyler Breeze and Fandango were initially paired together somewhat randomly, with no plan or expectations. However, their shared sense of humor and natural chemistry made them click right away. Instead of a run-of-the-mill lower card comedy team, they caught on with the audience. Together, they became Breezango, also known as the Fashion Police. Their fashion file segments became very popular with fans. These hilarious vignettes aired throughout 2017 on SmackDown, where the duo parodied various moves in TV shows.
I know what this is.
What's that?
It's a title.
No. That's a belt.
Oh.
A real fashion faux pas.
Cheerio.
No, thank you. I've already had my breakfast.
When it's black and white, we're black and white.
The promos were so funny and creative that people were eager for more each week.
Let me guess, you want our guns too?
You have guns? Whoa.
Let's play it easy. Oh, we got these. Careful though, it's loaded.
Give it up for my hater, Breezy Bella!
The same can't be said for Vince and Triple H, who reportedly hated these skits. But because they were getting over, McMahon and Hunter begrudgingly allowed them to continue. It was especially entertaining to watch Breeze and Fandango interact with other characters on the roster.
He's getting his cardio in. Aren't you?
Hey, if I'm Jay, I know exactly what I do.
As they attempted to solve over-the-top cases, all of which cleverly circled back to the rest of the teams on SmackDown.
They used to do an ugly dance during their entrance.
Disorderly conduct?
They're twins.
Identity theft.
No one wants them around.
Unlawful assembly.
They walk around backstage like they own the place.
Oh, that's jaywalking.
And Jimmy walking.
Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our similar video on 10 overhyped WWE wrestlers who failed miserably. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.